What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Umbrella Operative. Today we're going to talk about the SSR15. So the first thing you're going to notice on the NOVRITSCH site when you go to look up the SSR15 is the $549 price tag for USD, and a lot of people will think this is actually pretty steep, but you have to consider all of the other things that go into this AEG. We're going to hop right into some of those details right now. So, this message isn't entirely wrong, but it is a little bit overstated. But it is definitely a competitor on the field that most people won't expect. So the main thing to note here is that the SSR15 is fine-tuned to be used with an 11.1 volt LiPo battery. I've used a Titan Power battery, 11.1 volt, 6000 milliamp, and it performed very well with plenty of space in the stock. Moving on to the accuracy, using the Maple Leaf 60-degree bucking, I've noticed a few things that I like and don't like about it. It's a little soft if you want to use even heavier BBs. I was running 3.2s and I think that may have been too much for it. 3s work very well. Another thing to note here is that the BBs don't curve side to side, but that could be due to any variables inside of your AEG, such as your barrel alignment and cleanliness of the barrel. For the internal motors and gears, they definitely made the right choice. 16:1 high-speed steel gears are very good. They're not amazing. Like, if you wanted to go even higher speed and be more snappy, you could get 13:1 and try to DSG, but that's a lot more complicated than getting a stock AEG that is basically already like an SSG. One of my favorite things about the SSR15 is that it comes with a stock DIN connector. A lot of AEGs need to start doing this. They need to step it up. I haven't experienced any problems yet with gearbox whine and extra noise coming from it. It sounds like it's extremely well shimmed. Again, another solid choice on the piston. Full CNC construction is very strong, and you could make this into a snappy DMR build easily. The hop-up is pretty standard. Rotary isn't anything like special, but it's just nice because it's the most convenient to use. One good thing to note about it actually too is that it's got the number adjustment, so if you need to clean your barrel, you can remember the number and just switch right back to it. Now let's get into some real testing and showing off the SSR.
So before we jump right into the shooting test, I want to go over some pros and cons that I've noticed while using the SSR15. Let's start off with the pro first. So the trigger response, of course it's going to be great. There's a gate tighten advanced in it. I wish it came with the USB link for the programming card, but they want to keep that separate to make more money off it. It's a marketing choice. I wouldn't really fault them for it. So you could probably get it for around $130 without any of that stuff, but typically you get it with a combo and it's about $180 to like $155. So one con that I noticed as well is that the bolt release right here is a little loose. It's kind of janky. Not something you'd expect off a $550 gun. It's definitely not. It's like a quality control issue, I'm sure, but could have been damaged in shipping, but I don't know. It's just not a good look on a $550 gun. Another thing I've noticed that is a good thing about the SSR is that it's durable. During my gameplay this past weekend, I fell on it a few times. Once hitting the mag into the gun on the ground, and another time barrel hit the dirt really bad. This caused a small jam, but I cleaned it on field with an unjamming rod and a cloth, and then I was able to keep going. So that is actually a good thing. Very good quality aluminum right here. The overall upper and lower receiver is made of some type of, feels like extremely dense polymer, maybe very light aluminum. PT's grip, very durable polymer, and as well as the stock over here. EPS is extremely nice, and it has ample battery room, which is another pro. One thing you definitely don't want to do is run out of battery in the middle of a match, and then you have to go and switch it out or whatever. I was able to run a 6,000 milliamp 11-1 volt Titan battery in here, no problem. It had room left to add more, honestly. It lasted the whole day, and it's still about 80% charged, I guess. And I went through probably about 2,500 shots. Back to the Type 4 barrel getting jammed. That's actually kind of a con for this gun, because a lot of inexperienced players who might pick this up won't really know what to do to fix a jam. Once your gun jams, don't keep firing it. It'll damage your nozzle and potentially your piston and fuck up your gearbox. It's not a good thing. I'd recommend just, if you hear it sound different while you still have ammo in it, just stop shooting it, take the mag out, turn your hop off, and try to unjam it. Another con about the SSR15 is that it is another M4 weapon. It's not exactly special. The only thing really unique about it is that it's got NOVRITSCH trades and the twisted barrel, and actually the M-Lock rail is custom designed in the NOVRITSCH brand, I guess. I don't know. It's really just an M-Lock rail that's really cut out. It's extremely lightweight, which is nice. One thing he boasted on his website about is that the hop-up is a rotary style hop-up. He made it sound like it was supposed to be special. It's not. It's just a rotary style hop-up. It's good because it's standard and it's easy to use, easy to adjust. But it's not really much of a selling point, as more of a convenience and quality factor. Let's talk about price. So the SSR15 itself has a lot of stuff in it that normally you don't get with a stock. Let's use VFC for example, since that's the OEM. Then a stock VFC M4 or AR-15 styled AEG. So the biggest thing on it, honestly, is the Gate Titan MOSFET. That regulates for about 130 to 150 USD. Then we have the enhanced motor grip, which goes for about 20, which isn't bad. That's like the average consumer price, and it's honestly an awesome grip. I love it. Then we have the Yes. That goes for about 40, much bigger than the pistol grip, but this thing is awesome. Plenty of space. He did a good job choosing these three things for sure. Smaller, but just as important as any other part in your gun. It's more like the heart of it. You have the hop-up system, which I just showed off before, using the 60-degree maple leaf macaron bucking. I honestly would have gone a little bit heavier on the bucking, go to a 70 degree so you can use even heavier BBs and get more range out of this. And honestly, maybe up the power slightly, but this is a completely fieldable AEG for most places. I'm shooting at about 1.3 joules using 0.3s with the hop adjusted for it, and that's actually pretty good. You can use it in CQB if you wanted to, you can use it field, do whatever with it. Another thing that's kind of important that the NOVRITSCH SSR15 comes with is the gun case, which honestly no one really thinks about for price, but you can't really get a gun case that is less than $50 and comes with, enough foam to keep your replica safe, which his does for sure, and I think that it's awesome that you get an actual case with your AEG so you can bring it places without it being, concerning or being an extra cost on top of your AEG. The 16 gears, he calls them high speed. They're kind of high speed. They're more like a slightly faster standard speed. But they're made of steel, which is nice because they'll last longer, less likely to get destroyed on your piston. Another important thing is the motor. He claims it's a high torque motor. He doesn't exactly list any of the information on it. I'm assuming it's probably like a 28 TPA. The M-Lock rail, I've looked online and found an average price to get a rail similar to this is about $85 to $90. And honestly, your overall price point for this AEG, if you wanted to do it yourself, which I wouldn't recommend doing unless you are an actual tech and can actually acquire things for less than retail value, or you know how to make junk amazing, you could build this for $500 to $600, but that's putting in your own time and your own effort. It's arguable that this is actually a fair price, and I think it is, but I wouldn't recommend it to anyone to just purchase it. Anyway, let's get into some fun shooting. I'm going to try to get as tight accuracy as I can, and I hope you guys enjoy that part.
Let's get into the shooting test. I'm using .3s by HPA in this test, and we're about 85 feet away from the target. So now, it's time for the big question. Would I actually recommend the SSR15 to anyone? Overall, the SSR15 is a fairly priced AEG for what it has in it. The Titan MOSFET itself alone is honestly worth being pre-installed. My personal experiences with the SSR15 already are that it performs well, it's got great range, the trigger response is excellent, overall build quality for the externals and internals has proven to be extremely effective and honestly worth it for me personally. But of course, I'm not the only one who got an SSR15, and there have been a lot of widespread issues. Like I noted before, the bolt release wobbles. I saw a video online of someone's whose was basically broken off, and that's not good. That's a quality control issue or a shipping issue. But still, it's not good if it's widespread, because mine also wobbles, but it's not as bad as that. I'd have to say that overall, with the SSR15, I'm a satisfied customer, and I enjoy playing with it. It's becoming my primary now. But, what do you guys think about it? Say something in the comments below what you think about the SSR15, if you own one, how it's doing, and if you don't own one, what are your speculations? What do you expect from it? Are you at all interested in buying the SSR15? Or do you just enjoy watching the gameplay with it, because I have plenty of that coming out soon, for sure. It's been real, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I know it was a long one, but I figured going into more detail about what is inside the SSR15 and showing off a little bit of my gameplay from before and the shooting test I did again. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing, because I would greatly appreciate that. It's really hard to grow on YouTube. But thank you for your time. I hope you guys all have a great day. This is Umbrella Operative, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Oh, come on! They're out of bounds. They know that they're shooting past me, so they might hit me. They don't know I'm here.